Hello, lovely Hallmark of Greatness enjoyer. Mark here. I just want to take a moment of your time to talk to you about something fun that me and my 100 Things We Learned from Film podcast co-host are doing. Last year we were gutted to hear about the passing of regular 100 Things listener and all-round lovely young man, James Allen, at only 37 years old. Earlier in 2024, James had been diagnosed with incurable bowel cancer, and in that time, Teesside Hospice provided James and his family with excellent palliative care. We wanted to support Teesside Hospice by raising some much-needed funds to continue helping enrich the lives of those with cancer in Teesside. So in a bid to raise some much-needed money for the fantastic charity, on Saturday, May the 3rd, John and I are walking the Ullswater Way and Dalmain Loop in the Lake District. That's 25 miles, or 6.5 lengths of Tarrant-sea, to keep it relevant to the podcast that you're listening to. We know times are tough at the moment, but would love if you could sponsor us with anything that you can spare. Or perhaps you know a builder or joiner that got rich taking money off Lime Productions whilst not finishing the work. I mean, send them our links, please. It's 100 Things We Learned from Film.co.uk or justgiving.com/page/100 Things Pod. Also in the show notes, isn't it, Joe? So please, give anything that you can. If you don't, we might send Ray round to drink all your booze and knock up a really shit wall. Anyway, on with what you're here for.
Hi listeners, this episode deals with issues around homophobia, racism, threats of violence, and the Britpop band Dodgy. So we'll try and deal with all of that as sensitively as we can. If you're likely to be distressed by these subjects, feel free to give this episode a miss.
The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Pod-Castaway, the show that does all of this for 4 cans of warm Stella. I'm Joe, and with me as always, failing to plough his field with wild oats, it's James.
I'll have to sacrifice a lamb to Neptune or whatever it was.
And twirling about very, very confused in a supermarket, it's Planty.
We only to discover that it was in fact 9:30am and not 8:30am. The clocks had gone forward and
Bees
winter
and larks,
was
people.
over.
If you want to keep up to date with all the Hallmark Greatness gossip, you can find us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or if you will throw a plate at a man, even in front of a child, email us at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com.
Depends on the man, really.
So, to women and children here, I would throw this plate at you. It's not really a threat, is it? Unless you were Greek.
Well, that's the end of every meal.
They don't like it. This is episode 10 of the BBC. I mean, if you don't know by now, what are you doing here? Of the BBC sitcom, BBC.
I mean, yes. Also that the 70s sitcom where it's all right to call black people horrible names and gay people as well, apparently.
Yes. Of the BBC social experiment Castaway 2000, where 34 or 36, I don't know what we're up to now at this point. Men, women, and children were placed on an island in Scotland, in the northern of Scotland, Tarrant-sea, to survive for a year and to eventually, in theory, become self-sufficient. That is a lie, as we've said previously, because everyone is cheating. Everyone. But we'll find out some people are not. Some people have had enough of the ne'er-do-wellers and they're going to form a council of bastards.
Oh, yes, we're getting into the Treaty of May, I think I've called it, which reaffirms the Pact of Windermere.
They do refer back to the Pact of Windermere, though.
They do, yeah.
Rachel suggested as we were watching it, it was like when Bane takes over Gotham, and
Yes.
they've got that courtroom that's all being run by the Scarecrow. She was like, it's just
Death
like that.
by exile. Yes,
Yeah,
it's exactly
get on
like
the
that.
fucking ice, lads.
I loved that. I'd serve that court. Everyone else.
me
was bastards.
too.
We had an episode of very tedious arguments. People are getting ground down by this. Once again, we're circling the drain. It feels like somebody's going to go.
Yeah.
So we had 2 other votes out there. Obviously, Ray's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Ron was one of them because he threatens to leave every single episode, this one included.
Yeah.
And the good doctor, who was a bastard in the last one. I think he might take a back seat in this one.
He has a good laugh in this one. He's kind of ingratiating himself with
he's-
people in this one.
There's a real roller coaster of emotion for me and the Doctor in this one. Like,
Yeah.
my relationship with the Doctor fucking peaks and troughs this week.
Today was mine with Peter. Yeah.
Yeah. The Treaty of May, Peter, Hillary, Des, Liz, Ben, Tammy, they all sit around and they say there's no backsliding from this point on. No contraband, no dealing with the locals, no matter how merry and avuncular they might be.
Showing up with them diddly drums.
And then immediately we get some dodgy visitors. Another incursion, this time by
this was the thing is, at the meeting, that looks like it's outside a static caravan for some reason.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
It did, yeah. They're like, we
Contraband.
must stick together. Like, we have to have each other's backs. And Peter goes, so regardless, we stand as one.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, enough is enough.
Yeah.
And somebody says in this meeting, yes, as of today, Saturday the 13th of May, Castaway 2000 is happening. Where have you been? Like, what's been, like it's been happening.
No,
Oh
but
man,
like,
I'm totally gonna, when the 13th
official
of May
rules.
comes around, I'm definitely gonna celebrate.
I think we should.
Castaway
we should.
2000 happening.
I'm going to drink so much ouzo.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to drink? I'm going to drink what the book tells me. At this point, Des and Liz were drinking, and they were drinking homemade raisin wine.
Ooh, I imagine that's...
Yeah, sorry, rice and raisin wine. Recipe, gentlemen, long grain rice, 5 pounds of, 3 pounds of raisins, 10 pounds of sugar, 3 lemons. Can you imagine Homer eating the lemon?
Citric acid, yeah.
1 orange. This can be substituted for the same quantity of, what do you think?
Bleach.
Pure apple juice. I mean, orange and pure apple juice. 1 cup of strong cold tea. The tea adds the tannin normally found in wine.
Yeah.
2 ounces of wine yeast, 1 tablespoon of regular yeast, and 3 gallons of water. There you go. And I think it's the stuff where you get your eyesight back after 3 days.
I honestly thought you said rice and raisin. I was like, it's got ricin in it. We can't drink that.
Oh, I don't know. That's what they'll be selling us from America shortly.
Yeah. That doesn't sound particularly unpleasant.
I thought if I had a
Yeah.
tub big enough and clean enough, I'd make some.
I
There's
was
just
gonna say,
end up with cat hair in it.
I might go down Wilkie's, but it doesn't exist anymore, does it?
No, being
No.
empty.
Yeah. Because you just get them big thingy tubs, and all you got to do
Yeah,
is
you do,
wipe them out
yeah.
with thingy acid, isn't it? I don't know. I might do. I might have a go at that. Send me that thingy, and I'll get
All
an
right,
orange.
okay.
I'll get an orange and some. We can
Yeah,
do
this
it this
bank holiday
weekend.
weekend.
We'll do it this weekend,
That's right.
James. We'll put our
I'm
best.
not coming back from there alive. am I?
No, you've got to leave it like a month or something. I have got a fuckload of demijohns in the oubliette. The
Oh,
oubliette. I'll have to go in
At
there.
least
get
you
them, and I
did
don't
have
want to-
until Doctor
Hoggle stole them.
Jesus.
But yeah, so they're like, no dealing with anyone. Anyone that arrives on the beach now, we shun them. Ding, 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 turn your back on them. And I'm like, yes, that's what you should have been doing in the first place. Like, you can't do it with the reporters because they were going to get in your face and stuff, but you could have just walked away.
Yeah.
Right? Shut the door. Right? You shouldn't have to, but potatoes, isn't it? The fucking band Dodgy. All right, lads, we've just been doing some shows up around here.
But here's the
we come
thing,
and play some
right?
songs for you.
I'm
Fuck
not
off.
saying that this lot are out of touch, right? Because, I mean, they are, but so much so that this fat-faced fucking little
Danny the
moron
Hat Johnson or
right,
something.
jumps off the boat and goes, all right, we're the band Dodgy. And everybody goes, who? Because it's 2000. They haven't had a hit since 1996. 1996 is good enough, which was not. It is not.
Oh, I forgot to look up their stats for the Netherlands. I hope you've done
Oh! It's because John's not here.
that.
Andy the Hat Miller. That's what he's called.
Andy the Hat Milliner.
Oh,
Not only is it his name,
It was
but
in
it's
his blood.
chosen career.
yeah. And they go.
What does he think he is? A jazz musician from the 20s?
He just used to wear a little pork pie. Not even a pork pie
did?
hat.
Yeah.
Was it a pork pie hat?
Yeah, too small for his massive head.
Yeah. And you know he gave himself that nickname.
Of course he did.
Yes.
Like when Vic Greaves wanted everyone to call him Chopper at school.
Warren's not happy. We're sick of being used for cheap publicity.
He's right.
I don't think you are, because you're doing this for what, $1.5 or whatever it was.
$4 completion fee.
again, some of the islanders want Britpop, others are tired of the genre too heavily implicated in neoliberalism and the end of history post-Cold War consensus that exemplified the 1990s.
Stop!
This
Stop
is
there!
why I listen. This is why I listen to the podcast once I've been on it at the end of the... Oh, brilliant. brilliant, fantastic.
Just me and Mark doing knob jokes and then that. Like,
Fucking yes. So
Julie
highbrow.
explains in a VT that they're planning to broadcast live on Radio 1. They've heard a rumour from somewhere. So they go and confront the band.
from
Yeah.
somewhere. From who?
No,
I
someone
don't
from
know.
Lion TV has heard it on Radio
Oh,
1.
they radio
so
them,
he,
don't
so
they?
he rings up. So he rings.
Lion
and he's
TV,
like,
and they say that they've been on Radio 1 and it says they're planning to, to broadcast it.
yeah.
And I think it's, Finley goes, how? Mobile phones? And I was
Yeah.
like, Sherlock. Yeah, go on,
Yeah.
girl. So they
Oh, it
run
looks
down.
so shit. 2000. God.
A load of blurry fucking Lego running around.
Holding a phone up as high as you can, stuck to the windmill.
So they go down and confront them at the caravan. It looks like, again, at this chalet, this wooden chalet, which I think might be the schoolhouse, actually.
Yes, it is. It's on the
Think
beach.
Could be, yeah.
And they go, are you planning to broadcast this? And Alan Milner, is like, no, how would we do that?
Yeah.
And they go, just fuck it.
They go recording equipment, and he goes, "Oh, it's a fair cop, Gov."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have thrown shingles at them.
Enemy article from the 2nd of June 2000. Speaking exclusively to NME.com. How long had that been found?
Wow.
About the incident. Dodgy drummer, by which they mean the band, not Duplicity, Matthew Priest explained, I had seen the programme on TV and we'd been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. When we were touring the Highlands, it became more of a reality. Jesus, they were touring the Highlands. How bad was their career going? It became more of a reality just because public support was there. People were egging us on to do it. They can't stop you landing on the island. Those people are just living there. They don't own it. They said they were only doing it for the publicity. So what are you doing it for then? A camera crew filmed every single movement on the island. It's really bizarre. Everything is on camera. It's all for publicity. Yeah, but just fuck off.
Yeah, but yeah, in it. Like, I don't say about the time my mate went watched a band and his mate's band were on upstairs and downstairs there was just an A4 piece of paper with Top Loader written on it, and Top Loader were playing the small room downstairs way after Dancing in the Moonlight fame. Like,
Wow.
yeah, fun bit. But yeah, it just kind of
I know all
annoyed me.
about that from 100 Things as well.
No, you do, yeah. I mean, that truly is Onka's Big Mocha, or whatever the fuck that was called.
You giving me batty chirps. But yeah, and I kind of like, good. Shun the outsiders. Stick to your own. But of course, is this when? Who is it? What is she called? The woman whose brother? I was really hoping it was.
No, so the brother thing comes later.
Is it later?
This is where just a boat of twats turn up with 2 cases of old Pulteney whiskey.
Yeah,
12 years old, by the way.
No, a good drop that.
And they're going, no, we're
what
not
is
going
this
to take
Tempting
it.
Fortune? No, we're not having Dodgy the band, but a case of old pulp.
Yeah, Trev, of course, is having a great. He's kind of and they kind of don't want to do it, and he's
got a bottle in his
this
hand.
bottle. It's in his hand, and he can almost taste it. And you can't. It's a really peaty drop if you.
Oh, it's a nice drop of yeah. But look, and half of them don't. Ron wants to trade. What have you got to trade? Smoke alarms. What are
half
you
a
gonna trade?
lamb. We'll swap half a lamb for 12 bottles of whiskey.
You can just get it out of the ocean. It's bobbing about there somewhere. It's the front half, but the head goes all the way round now.
Yeah, I mean, I was almost there with him. Like, yeah, you could barter for it. It's not Castaway though. That's just establishing a settlement.
But like, I'd have just been like, just lads, just dump it round the north side of the island.
Yes.
Oh, look what washed ashore. Get the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, and it's right. Like I said, ever since the Treaty of May the 17th or whatever, right? No, but that would have been the killer. Having to drink rice in wine and cloudy beer, like having a lovely drop of single malt. Oh, come on. And it killed someone for that. I'll take me with you.
After this, we get Tammy and Ron falling out over something, and Ron just storms off whenever anyone talks to him.
Yeah.
It's when they're talking about this. They're talking about the contraband. And he's like, well, maybe we should trade for it. Maybe we should do this, that, and the other. And Tammy's like, no, we're not doing that. And he just goes, and walks off. And Tammy goes, don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you. And she goes, that's what he always does. When he knows he's in the wrong, he walks away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I quite like Tammy.
Yeah, me too.
Even though when we first saw her, I was like, she's blonde and there's an out about her. She's a very astute young lady. She's fucking seen through.
That could have been the Lofty Wiseman nose for her, I guess. But
possibly, yeah.
No, I mean she's all right. She's very. She does have a very sort of 90s air about her. But no, she's been fully on board. Yeah. And then we get, oh God, the water shortage of the century has just happened.
Just as we lead into the water shortage, I've got a little bit of a story from before the water shortage. So it's actually
before the watershed shortage.
That's how I measure the progress of time, before the water shortage and after it.
Yeah.
It was shortly after the Pact of May.
A little story from Julie Lowe on water. Julie Lowe was making Julie Lowe was making the best of things, as always, because it is Jules. If the weather wasn't quite what the doctor ordered, it was clearly time to make use of that luxury item that she had so laboriously lugged to Tarrantay. Let me set the scene, she wrote. It's early on Mother's Day morning. I've just about managed to get up the hill with a barrow of pellets to feed the sheep. It's blowing gale force 8 and there's a blizzard that completely cuts off the island. We cannot see the mainland at all. I get my sponge bag, thick fluffy towel, and clean undies from the pod. Bent double against the force of the wind, steady lads. I just about make it down the walkway, back to the shelter at the steady. I lock the cubicle door, prop the bath diagonally across the shower tray, fill it, put some lavender oil in, strip off, and prepare to lower myself into the steaming water to enjoy being thawed in warmth. The thing I first notice is that I'm sitting on grit and sand. This, although unfortunate, is
full of
terminal.
oysters.
I'm sure all of us have experienced sand in our swimsuits on the beach at some point in our lives. No, what really upsets me are all the coarse, fair hairs floating on the surface of the water.
Oh.
It gets worse. I then remember the Slaughter Boys borrowed the bath for some reason, and I didn't inquire too much into, but which had something to do with the dastardly deed of dispatching of a pig. Gentle reader, this was not nice.
Oh, no.
It shows what a tough old Tarrantay bird I'm getting to be that I didn't instantly jump up screaming, but instead skimmed off as many of the hairs as I could, added more lavender oil, filled the tub up with a little more hot water, spelt Leetle, and just shut my eyes. Do you think the old saying, look before you leap, could have been invented just for me? I will be more careful next time, believe me.
Oh,
you Slaughter Boys!
I love Slaughter Boys, best band name ever. But also, why would you need to do it in the bath? You're not keeping the blood for anything, are you?
Well, I guess it's so you don't get blood on the dance floor or something.
No, but it looks like when they dispatched that pig, they got it strung up and they just book it and in it, like.
Yeah.
Because the guy who is the butcher knows what he's doing and isn't Trev and bloody Thingy running about worrying sheep. Blaming it on them dogs the other week. They were them three.
It was Trev, yeah.
Oh, man. I also didn't know where that was going. When she went to feed the sheep, and you went, having my sponge bag and spare knickers.
Yeah,
I was like,
thought,
well, also that it was Mother's Day, so I took the pellets up to the sheep.
Yeah,
she just looks after the animals. Her and Philly, innit, took the animals on board as their job.
The stream.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? Sweet.
That's nice. I feel a bit sad for her. I also pig hair. I'm fine with. I thought it was going to be pubes.
Yes, I'm. Yeah, I've got to be honest. Halfway through, I thought, "Don't be pubes." I can't read that out.
The stream supplying electricity has dried up, and the loch is now low, exposing all the bags of meat Lofty put there 5 months ago. The water has to be siphoned off from a new source, another lock that's somewhere else. So Toby from Leeds, he has his bath in a polytunnel so that he can sprinkle the water on the crops and make them taste like feet.
He's washing his clothes, and then he goes, I may as well have a bath while I'm here. And I'm like, I've been that poor when I've washed my clothes and had a bath at the same time. Yeah. Yep, and he's good. I liked that. I
expect him to fish out a pickled onion like old man Steptoe.
I did like as well that Fogel's like, it's a muddy puddle now, the big lock. I'm like, I'm not surprised if everyone's having showers. Like,
yeah.
But we're on rationing. We're on rationing now, lads.
It's all right because they're going to do some siphoning, which is they don't really understand how that works. Any of them.
No.
Well, I enjoyed this tugging this pipe that curled around like one of them full hose pipes on a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
It's like when a slinky gets tangled and you can never untangle it.
Yeah, that's right.
You just Ben says running around saying,
it was wrapped
have you got the same quote?
Just fucking carry it wrapped
I think I probably have. Go for it.
We need to pull all the twizzles out, he says, running in the opposite direction to everyone else.
Whistles.
Of course, that's when you can still have them before Jamie Oliver banned them for schools, didn't he?
Bastard.
My sister's still never forgiven him for that.
That was in Rotherham, where
Oh, so it was.
parents lined up with chicken nuggets to feed
Oh,
them.
God, yeah.
Like a detention centre.
Them chicken nugget grooming gangs. Jesus Christ.
I don't understand why they didn't just carry that pipe rolled up until they got to the lock. Like, why are you trying to unroll this thing on the walk there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a roll of razor wire, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
And then
great.
you have someone hold it that way, and then you just spool it back. Yeah. Also, didn't they say it was like half a kilometre away or something? That tube was not long enough, unless they were
Where do
feeding
you
it.
buy tubes that long enough?
For like,
Or do you just have to gaffer tape it halfway?
no, it's stuff that brings water to your house. That, isn't it? Like they've given them supplies. This is what all the stopcock nonsense in the first episode was about.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yes, you see. So I think they might be running.
Cock.
They might be running that one into the other lock, Lofty's meat lock.
Right.
To fill that one up, so then it brings that down. I think possibly. I don't know. It seems a very carry-on.
Yeah, well,
situation.
Ben creates a new. It's a new pipe, isn't it? And Ben creates that, and we see him really struggling. He went, "Oh, I spent an hour and a half doing that."
Well,
because it's all leaking.
Their technique to get the water out, because they don't understand how gravity works at all, is and the doctor's with them. He's decided to go out for a bee's a lark. I keep saying
I mean, he's more likely to tread in a poo outside, so I don't know why he's doing that.
I do love the way that you say poo in his voice.
Yes.
He's gone with him, and is it Trev who has the idea of throw the pot in the water?
Get it in the water, yeah.
Fill it full of water, block off one end, and then feed it into the other thing.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
You don't really need to do that, but it works.
But they don't show the second half of it until we really need the comic relief later on. The BBC force all the islanders to side with the Pact of May and reaffirm the Treaty of Windermere and sign a letter saying that they will actually be castaways and not just people at the centre park.
Sign a letter saying, "I am being well looked after, Mum. I will be home."
And have a photograph with today's copy of the Daily Mirror sent in by Ray.
It's got Ray on the front of it.
No, it hasn't. There's a Stornoway Gazette.
Bearded man.
Peter speaks. Peter speaks in favour of it.
Who was
surprise, Ron.
But weirdly, Peter was against the Pact of Windermere.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want them videoing him in the shower.
No.
Which they've not done.
No, because I imagine it looks like no. But he's now for it, because again, he's like, well, we're not doing the experiment. We're not doing Castaway. We're just fucking about on an island getting pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, him and Ray, putting monk habits on and scaring out lasses. Like, but no, he's all for it. And most of them are. But yeah, as you said, surprise, surprise, one person isn't.
Ron sitting in his room with a pin-up of H from Steps or whoever it was.
Oh, I'd written it was a nudie calendar.
It did look
I thought it was a man with his top off. I thought, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Is it that picture like in Lost Boys where it's Rob Lowe on the inside of his cupboard with no top on? I ain't got a man.
I think you're mixing them up with the Butcher Boys.
The Slaughter Boys.
The Slaughter Boys, yeah.
Gwen reckons that Peter wants to exile people because the punishment for all of this is exile if you break the rules. I won't victimise people to get them off. Peter to Ron says, well, these rules, as I understood them at Windermere, you've blown them. I was like, how are you becoming Tobias from Arrested Development?
He's caught double entendre disease, yes.
Ron does his signature move and slams the door.
Slams that door again. It has diminishing returns when you do it so often, though.
Listeners, if you are watching along, do not have a drink every time Ron storms out of a room.
No, mate, you'd be hammered.
Because you will be dead.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't advise. I'd advise drinking lots through this episode, or not drinking at all. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
Sandy introduces the new legislation to the House, being the person that most recently went against them to go to the mainland in the last episode.
Yes.
She immediately then breaks them again.
Yeah.
Having done it.
Because her brother, who she hasn't seen in 100 years, who's in America, has flown all the way here to get on a drafty dinghy on choppy waters to come here. And she could turn him away, but she doesn't. Exile.
Well, Lindsay
Stone
says
the witch. Stone the witch.
on the narration, it's surprising Sandy breaks the rules. I'm like, no, it isn't, because
No, it isn't.
last episode she was lost in fucking Tesco on Harris.
Got confused in the Budgeons.
I just like that the boat operators now probably have like some picture of Ray up on a wall somewhere, and they're just looking at this Americanized version of Sandy. No, it's not him.
Oh.
The
But
court
yeah,
martial is in session.
yeah, and we're introduced to the Council of Five.
I love it. I love it so much. It's Tanya, Philly, Liz, Tammy, and Poe Ray. So quite a young group, actually.
Yeah, I thought there would have been a couple of the older ones in there for balance. But again, these are all the ones who wanted,
Justice.
who were at the Pact of May.
Yeah. They are very. I think they're quite progressive with their punishment. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good punishment. But for Sandy, it doesn't seem all that harsh. I'm going to be honest.
No, but I was kind of like, okay, so we agree on a punishment, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck are they going to do to the woman? Because on the May Day episode, they had stocks. They were throwing buckets of water at bed and stuff.
And a Wicker Man. She didn't stand a chance.
But no, it's just to fix everyone.
She has to fix 2 items of clothing for every person on the island or something, or 2 items of clothing a week. I couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah,
and Sandy's like, yeah, sweet, I'll do that.
Sandy goes, thank fuck, I thought I was going to be dunked. I thought they were making a fucking dunking stool.
But yeah, fair play to her. I mean, her brother turns up. What's she going to do? Sort of thing. Refuse.
I know,
to speak
but
to her.
again, how long have you had? And you thought now's the time to go and see her, like go to a horrible,
it's all
horrible Scottish island.
Yeah.
And eat a potato, like
eat 3 potatoes, done different ways.
Different ways, yeah.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, from an islander's point of view, being just accosted by someone in your past suddenly, it's just, I don't know, it's a bit weird. But
no,
she's
I get what she's right, but yeah, I think they said she has to do everyone's mending, which is
it is.
Well, it's a cantrip anyway, so she'll not lose any spell.
She can use as many of those as she wants. Jesus.
We get the slaughtering of Heathcliff Pig, who's
Heathcliff, it's me, I'm Colin, I'm a butcher.
I've got a heart
presumably
on
gone against the treaty and the pacts. Kill the pig. Ron's involved with the taking of a life, which I found very interesting.
I think he's killed in the past.
Along with like 9 other people as well to kill this.
I think it's more of the, let's go and watch. There's so much to do. People used to watch hangings, mate. You know what I mean?
True. I mean, I'd watch them if they came back.
Depends who it was. If we brought back like beheading in a French Revolution style, I'd be first up. Yeah, I'd be selling merch, mate.
Well, like nail cutters and stuff. Pat makes some sausages out of it and
I didn't
reflects
like
on
this
mortality.
Because they strung the pig up, but they only got it by one leg, so this pig's flailing around.
Yeah.
Pat the butcher boy I liked though, and he said, like you, Joe, he did his butchery as a lad. And
as a lad, yeah. No. But yeah, it's the mortality of it. It's like it makes me think about, life is finite, and but there again, saying that, Sandy said the same thing. Young people think that your life goes on forever, but when you get to my age, it's nearly over. Like, well, not because your brother's come to visit. Like,
she's still not over that going to Tesco's, is she? She fell into some sort of
shook to her core, hasn't it? That. Her and Biggie went to Weatherspoons and just got ratted. Because he came back the next day, so they stopped over somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
I'm assuming the Shining Carvery.
We get this raft now made out of driftwood and boys.
Made out of wooden pallets.
Yeah.
How many boys are washing ashore on this beach?
They kick it out to sea, ? And catch a single crab.
One crab! It's good,
Which
though.
Like, got on the shore.
It's team building.
It is fun. It is fun. And the line is...
Lofty would have been impressed.
It's
the net
to do.
Can we tell them that we had a big fish and it got away?
Yeah.
We've got a crab and it's a monster crab. They yell back at the thing. And it's not. It's a wee lad like that. Yeah, but it's a spectator sport as well. Everyone's come down to cheer him on. It's good. I wouldn't be.
All the children.
I wouldn't be. Yeah, well, no, that is.
That's Gordon.
That's Gordon who goes out on his own, like spearfishing or something.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Because he's adamant he's going to catch the first fish on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then
apparently,
someone
not only did he didn't catch the first freshwater fish in the loch, he also didn't catch the first saltwater fish. And
Well,
he's fucking
that comes
raging.
up in a bit, doesn't it? Also, you reckon there was like a unique ecosystem in that loch, and they've just barreled through it, like, just eaten all of it.
Yeah.
Right. No, he wanted to catch the first freshwater fish, and he doesn't do that, so that's why he's going sea fishing. Yeah, but all the children and the doctor just singing horrible songs. I didn't write it down, unfortunately, because I was too busy laughing.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was something to the tune of London's Burning.
Yeah.
Gordon's fishing. Caught nothing. Something like that.
Oh, I was thinking of
Try again
Calling.
tomorrow. Try again
That's
tomorrow.
it, yeah,
And
there
then
you
they
go.
fucked it on the last line because they went splish, splash, splosh. And I was boo. You could have finished on a stronger note, but yeah.
Your wife's food shit.
If I was Gordon, if I was Gordon, I'd have been like, none of you are having it. If I get it, all you children get in the bin. Yeah, but it's something to do.
Then we get to
the kitchen. Yeah,
the kitchen scene, which is a kitchen sink drama that is shot like a kitchen sink drama.
Yeah. I have one question before we get into it. Was Ben in the kitchen, just like in the corner while all this was going on?
Yeah, like the Blair Witch had put him there.
Because
while
why
everything
didn't
else
he
was going
fucking
on.
say anything?
Yeah.
Well, I thought he did, but I could be wrong. Could be mistaken on this.
No, he
but
just sits there. I think he starts, and then it just gets beyond him.
Right.
He does say so because he sat there in his little blue shirt, and he starts saying something, and then it just gets beyond him.
So I feel like this is Act 4 of a 5-act play here, because there's stuff that's happened already, and then somebody's picked up the camera, right?
Yeah.
We just suddenly get homophobia in the kitchen. Cassie, they're both on like kitchen duty, and Cassie says, "I'm not embarrassing myself on television. I'm not gay. I don't go around the island feeling other men's bottoms." And then this is because Ron wanted a cuddle and went to Dr. Roger and not only had a hug, but sensuously kissed his neck and felt his arse.
Yeah, Ron was smooching the neck of Roger and grabbing his bottom, and the doctor looked at me. The doctor looked at you?
Yes, and one of the babies waved at me. Right. I don't... Because
I don't think a lot of this happened, or I think there's a twisted view.
Because Ron says, that's what happened. I'm a very tactile person, and I was like, yeah, but you can't go around groping people, man.
Like, and kissing a married man's neck.
He says that it isn't sexual. We also don't hear anything from Dr. Roger about what happened.
He's very confused in his
I still feel that what you're doing is nasty and wrong, she continues. Feeling another man's bottom and having sex with another man is dirty. It says so in the Bible. And at that point, I think Ben Fogle says, "So what?" But I could be wrong.
Yeah. Spoiler, listeners, it does not say that in the Bible. Well, it just doesn't say it.
I forgot to lock that up, but yeah.
No, it doesn't say it. At no point does it say it's wrong and it's dirty.
No, and it's not the reason why God struck Sodom and Gomorrah off the earth as well. But
man, I bet the food would taste better if they had a pillar of salt, though, wouldn't
it? As opposed to a magic bottle of OXO.
OXO cubes and chili and 3 sachets of sugar.
We get all the VTs now from everyone.
But this is the thing. This is the thing weighing in on it. And Ron tries to justify his position, and Cassie tries to justify her. She says he goes to church, he reads his Bible, but obviously not the same bits that obviously doesn't read it properly or something. And I was like, well, those Protestants again.
Julie mentions that he's criticised her cooking. He said, "We don't like all that foreign muck you serve up," and spat whatever it was she'd made.
Yeah, it was sweet potato pudding. Now, just before that, because Ron said something, and all I've written is, "It's not often I'm on Ron's side." And then the next word is just, "Oh, wait, it only lasted 10 seconds. Now he's being racist." Yeah. I was halfway through writing a sentence, and I had to abandon it. I don't know what Ron said that I was on his side, but I abandoned it because all of a sudden he's like, "Foreign muck." I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah. So narrator says a meeting is called to try and resolve the tensions between Ron and the Careys because it has worked so well the last 900 times we've
just
tried
have them
it.
scream into each other's faces, isn't it? That'll
And
go
that's
well.
pretty much what happens.
He says, at some point, Ron says, I do believe in God, but it's not the same God as what they believe in. I was like, it's probably Bacchus, isn't it? Let's be fair. That's Ron's God.
Yeah. Also, I don't know, because you can't be monotheistic and believe in a different God. I don't know how it works. Religion's a stupid thing for idiots.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like Gordon at this point, though, is doing a jigsaw, I think.
Yes.
Three of them doing a big jigsaw.
And he's bored by the whole thing. And he's like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of Ron. I'm tired of all of this. And like you said when we started, it just grinds you down.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. He's ready to jump ship. It's Cassie that doesn't want to go.
No, because you've got to stick it out, haven't you? But the thing was,
Pat is also completing the other end of the jigsaw, trying not to be.
She's doing the edges on that bit.
But Gordon says at this point, he says he's going to deck him, doesn't he? And I was kind of like, whoa, that's not the Christian way.
Yeah.
He says, I will deck him. And I was like, whoa, mate, forgiveness? Question mark.
But again, if someone had come over to my wife after she'd spent ages making food for everyone and that, I put some of it in his mouth and spat it out and went, ugh, I'd have fucking rugby tackled him to the ground and smacked his face in with a spatula.
But I think what's weird is it's only the second time in 8 months that we've had some violence or a threat of violence.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of, for me, I was kind of like, didn't think I'd get this at 6 o'clock on a Thursday tea time.
A man of God. I believe in God. Yeah. It's a weird one because I'm kind of on Gordon and Cassie's side. Like, again, I think Ron has not blaming anyone for being gay or whatever. But I think Ron has deliberately done it to wind people up, to provoke a reaction out of them. Why would you go and kiss stupid, stinky Dr. Roger when there's much more attractive men? Go and kiss Podrick. He looks like Angry Kid.
Go and kiss Ben. Oh, he doesn't like Ben, does he?
Doesn't like Ben. No. Again, he's limited. That's the trio. Ben. That's the trio. Ron, Ray, and Roger.
Oh, so it is. Yeah.
That was the trio. Yeah, and they've manipulated Ray into leaving, and now they're trying to make a power grab.
Hey.
I think I'm reading too much into this.
Not bad going, that Joe. Not bad going. 25 years later.
I've never seen this before.
No.
From the memoirs of Ron, 2010. We felt like we'd been set up to fail. For example, having selected me as the only gay in the village, the program makers had also recruited a family of Seventh-day Adventists who would be likely to object to my sexuality. The fuse was lit by members of the production team who publicly branded me a drama queen every time I refused to cooperate with them. And they eventually got their pound of flesh. When the situation flared up and I had the Bible quoted at me, I was left feeling isolated and vulnerable. Elsewhere, it's also been pointed out that the production team nicknamed him Rancid Ron.
Oh, wow.
Which is sort of a prefiguring of Nasty Nick from Big Brother as well.
Yeah.
It's weird how these tabloid-esque things. Yeah. So, it's not for us to pick sides.
Oh, no. Again,
nobody comes out of this particularly
We're only seeing what they want us to see. We don't know what's true and what's not true. But knowing what I know about Ron, I'm not going to take anyone's side, like you said, but I'm more inclined to believe Gordon and Cassie's. Also, Gordon, I'm fine with his sexuality. I just don't want it shoved down my throat. And no one went, hey, that did more Eric Morgan glasses or nothing.
And after that, we need some comic relief. Let's go back to the lads trying to sink a pipe in a lock.
Tubes.
Ben fixing plumbing to Buster Keaton film soundtrack. What could go wrong?
We get Mike pretending to do a big fart with the pipe as well. Which is good.
Yeah.
Everyone's in their pants for some reason, and please don't leak, Mr. Pipe, says Ben.
Roger's good here. Does he not jump in the water?
Yeah. And then Ben's like, hey, I'm the only one that's take the top off.
Yeah.
My tiny nipples out.
And I did think at this point, Roger might be winning me over.
Yeah, I was like, okay, no, because he's getting stuck in.
Yeah.
That was always my beef with him, was that he showed up late, he whinged about everything, then didn't want to get involved in anything. And now he's jumping into a freezing cold lock to fill a pipe full of water while a man farts into it. Like, I've had dreams like that.
As more comic relief comes as well, Trev is cracking on with Trish. It's Love Island 2000.
Wow. There's so much going on here. And I'm confused. Having only watched it once, I felt like I needed to watch it a second time to know what actually happened.
I watched
It's
this
a deranged
twice
double date.
because I don't know. It's all filmed from one locked off angle.
Yeah.
And then there's just external shots where they're making weird noise.
There's a condom in a flower. He gives somebody. I think Toby gives.
Yeah,
it's got
somebody
a special
flower.
center.
Yeah, and she looks and it's got a condom in it, and it's good. It's fun, you know.
Toby then takes a condom from the ceiling where they're just suspended like airbags on an air flight. It's weird.
Ensure that you put on someone else's condom before affixing your own.
I believe that quote is children's.
No, I didn't want to say that, Joseph. Christ.
No, again, I
and
think
then they have a
just
little dance, and Trev just takes off his trousers.
Oh yeah, Trev's got no trousers on.
Again, he just
Is
puts
this
the
okay?
down. No, they just fall down, don't they, as he's dancing? I think that's the joke, isn't it?
Right, okay.
Like, and again, it's just a really nice bit of. I don't think there's anything like rude going on between them. I think it was just let's just have a kiss and a cuddle sort of thing. Like,
but the girls in their kind of post-mortem are going, never in a million years or whatever, and the lads are going, well, they had their wicked way with us.
Used.
Yeah, and all this kind of stuff. But the girls are laughing and looking really, really fucking suspect. So I think something happened.
I
don't definitely happened.
Well, again, it was.
I think everyone was leathered at the end of that.
Everyone was. They were hammered before they got there because
that old
Pultney. When he gives them, when he gives that flower, he shows the camera and you can see like her eyes and gone. Like, but
Poe-Ray's in the corner twiddling away. It is something else.
Again, I just wanted a panning shot of that room to see what the fuck was going on in there.
Yeah.
But no, it was just a fun bit of levity.
We needed it.
Is a difficult episode. And again, the Trev and Mike show. Yeah, their whole bit of, and it's always the way, isn't it? They promise you the world.
Yeah, I don't think we've covered this, but in the book, we learn that the lads called their video diary TV shows Channel 69.
Oh no, they didn't say that. Might have been a bit too much for the BBC.
Channel 69 or Station 69 they called it, and that was their programs that they were doing.
lads, isn't it?
But there's more sadness on the horizon.
Jesus, and I thought it can't get any worse. I can't be any more annoyed / upset about it. And Ron's dog is badly, and you're kind of like, oh no, which one?
No, it's the old one, Charlie.
Not Charlie. Yeah,
Charlie Bingus. Yeah, he's like, I need to go to the mainland. Is Charlie with him?
Yeah, he picked up the dog.
Right, because I wasn't sure whether he just
it's
left
hard
it on
to tell visibly what's wrong with it, but we find out soon.
Well,
terminal cancer.
It's bad. And he gets put down, and we're filming it. It's all a bit much.
And again, this fucking horrible.
This is we've all been there. Yeah. But then to make it a little bit more to bring it back to one of my favourite sets, he's in the hotel and he's on the phone in the little wooden phone thing. What a scoop! And I kind of liked that. And then he rings whoever he rings, and he just goes, "Charlie is dead.
I need you to make a coffin.
Tell Colin to make a box."
And I'm like, it's like that bit in John Wick. Would you like to make a reservation? Just gives him them gold coins.
I thought it was The Godfather.
Oh, Jesus and the thing is, like, it's incredibly sad. Like, when I have Sam put down, it's like literally the saddest I've ever been. I never cried so much, even when people I liked died. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's Ron, and I don't know. Again,
it's right after a racialized thing.
Yeah.
I feel like
weird.
He uses this to try and curry favor with people. He wouldn't like that because curry's foreign, though.
They intersperse this bit with people digging peat or hairy mud, I think, as Ben calls it.
Ben calls it hairy mud.
Ironically enough, Gwen isn't doing any digging here.
No,
because she was the one previously that was digging the peat and going, "I just like to think it's Ron's fucking face."
This one's Marjorie from the Women's Institute who said my Victoria sponge was dry. Because again, Dr. Roger has gone fucking mad with power.
Yeah.
He's like, it's going to cost us £3,000 in fuel for the year. we could burn this peat.
Let's destroy the whole ecosystem of this island by
Yes.
digging up the deep peat and putting
Yeah.
it on.
It's
Deep
supposed
peat
to
is
be
what
an
you put on your
environmental
muscles,
show.
isn't it?
Yes.
We should
yeah.
burn Pete, I think Warren says at this point.
He does, and he gives it a good wink, and it's a good bit. Yeah.
So I did a little bit of investigating here because I thought,
Oh.
I'm not so sure they can do this, can they? Or if they could do this, they wouldn't be able to do it today. Well, today, you don't need a license if the burn area is 0.5 hectares, steady Joe, or less, and either the ground is steeper than 35 degrees or more, then 50% of the area is covered by exposed rock or scree.
Somebody's job at the Environment Agency, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the fact
Calculating all that.
over 38 degrees, 37 is acceptable, 39 is right out.
Yes.
So you can just dig up peat.
It's small scale enough.
Yeah.
Because I think there are
Yeah,
distilleries
half a
and
hectare.
stuff will be doing that on a pretty small scale, I think, because it doesn't need a lot to.
Yeah.
So
When we
That's
went
still
to
allowed.
Annandale Distillery, which is my local distillery, they told us that almost all the lowland distilleries get their peat from the same company. Because in the lowlands, there's no peat or there's very little. So they get it all from pretty much the same company in the Highlands.
Is it
There you
called Best Peat, owned by Pete Best? I'd have to say the best of the Beatles. Yeah, but he's just gone, and he's like, we can just burn it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess can. But,
You can't. Your doctors were so preoccupied with whether they could.
but also, you've not turfed 2 of those pots.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens, like when autumn rolls round, because I reckon
It's going to smell like a 15-year-old Scotch at that point. It's going to be amazing.
But then also, when they thingied the water as well earlier. Who was it? Was it Gwen who was like? Sometimes you're sitting there and you're going, "Is that smell me?" I was like, "Yeah, probably, Gwen, if you know how to wash them." Like, also, all the lads not being able to get a coffee first thing in the morning
Because there's no water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody, I don't know who it is, it might be Liz, goes, well, there's a lock half a mile away. Go and do that. I mean, if I wanted a coffee, I would absolutely go up to the lock. It's only half a mile. It's only a mile walk.
I'd bring back a cup's worth for me because I'm a petty bastard.
I don't know why you wouldn't go down particularly well on this island, Joe.
I'd do all right.
He's turning into Ray the longer this goes on as well. Sadly, we have to cut back to Charlie the dog.
Raise my
Brought
spirit
back.
animal.
It gets this coffin. Ron holds a funeral for it. The children post letters to the dog. It's very touching.
Oh, I loved this. And,
This was nice, and this genuinely brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, and me too. It really did. And Ron is going, oh look, she's getting lots of mail in the afterlife and all this kind of stuff to the kids. He's good with the kids. It's just adults he's shit with.
But then I immediately laughed out loud, and it shattered the moment of solemnity for me when it's just that there's just a shot of Ray going like he's just had an awakening, like a vision from heaven, and I'm like, mate, it's a dog, it's sad, whatever. But you're making this into a spectacle.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
It's like Michael Jackson at the Brits, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Let's say it is.
I'm expecting Toby from Leeds to come running on and accost him.
Well, is it Toby didn't go because it's day after his dad? Or the week after?
Mike.
I think it was Mike.
Is it Mike?
Yeah.
Mike.
I get
Yeah,
so
yeah,
confused
And
between them three.
And I get that, and I respect Mike for that.
Yeah, and he's like, it's too close to the thing, and whatever. Like,
Peter says, I understand. Of course I do. It's very meaningful. It's not for me, it feels. I don't know what he says exactly, but it feels
Peter
a little
says,
bit performative.
I've written it down. Peter says, my dog died in a car crash, and then he quickly changes it to the dog being run over, which I assume...
Why was the dog driving?
I assume because the dog was driving without insurance. And he didn't want to implicate the dog in anything.
Mike could have
the dog
insured
in the
it.
driving seat and smudges over.
But he's got zero empathy because he's going, it's too much. I lost a dog and blah, blah, blah. And it's too much. And then he bought back some flowers. And you see Ron on the boat with this fucking corsage.
There's a wreath, yeah. I thought the wreath was overkill. And I'm like, it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Peter says, I understand, but it's over the top. And I've put, cut to a Viking boat in the bay on fire.
Firing a firing arrow.
Cut to the end of the year, and Dr. Roger is digging up that grave to burn the peat that's been made underneath.
The Lady Di feeling, he says, of having to have the correct emotion. And I am with him on that.
Yeah.
I think, but I can't remember who was it said, but like it is just like a big emotional outpouring for a lot of people who probably couldn't like not
Yeah,
even
and I get that
related
as
to the
well.
dog. Just what am I doing here?
Not even related to the dog.
Oh my god! No, not related, not like first cousins or anything. Like the emotions are not related to the death of a dog. They're just stuff they haven't been able to deal or process with, and this is a good time to cry and make it, let it out of your system.
Yeah,
that's why I watch those dodo videos on YouTube, Facebook, man. Like.
Before we sorry, Joe, go on.
No.
Before we move on to what a shit Peter is, because this is coming, I just want to share something that I thought was quite sweet of Peter from chapter 10 again. And it's this little section, it's very, very short. It's called Jankers. Was it partly because he was aware of his gathering criticism that Peter decided to slow down a bit now the weather had improved? It's been a week of calm blue skies and spring warmth, he wrote in a letter to his mother. His mother? How old must she be?
I think she's dead, and it's a Norman Bates style situation.
We had the most fantastic mackerel sunsets over a limpid sea. We sit on rocks outside our pod. It's a sun trap on still evenings. During those warm days, an Arctic terns have arrived, and they skin and dart around the rocks with the most beautiful cheeping, trilling calls. So quiet is it here that we can hear any birdsong within a mile. I've been taking it a little easy this week. Perhaps it's just a rhythm, but I feel like a small rest. So I've been enjoying myself immensely, realising a few desires unattended for many years. I've been doing a lot of woodwork, pegged joints.
There he has.
Complicated.
Whose joints?
Whose joints? Yeah. Complicated mortise and tenons, all out of driftwood. It's really lovely when stools and benches you've made become used as second nature by people, but they hardly notice them. Good job considering how poor some of the initial joints were. Sheila is the reigning artist here. Me, I'm just a crabby old bastard who makes people feel guilty by working. Perhaps it is Janker's vibes coming through. I often converse with him, especially when watching the birds. He would have loved that side of things. The rest of the community would have driven him to distraction. Jankers, we learned, was Peter's father.
Oh right, I thought it was that German plane from the war.
I thought when I was reading it was, Mrs. Torrance, it's me, Jankers.
He called his dad Jankers. Is this someone like Cher or Madonna who's just called Jankers?
Ronaldo.
He does talk in the podcast about his dad. I think he was in the war or something for the right side. Don't get me wrong.
They all said that.
But it was him that instilled his love of nature and doing stuff on the farm and stuff like that. It is worth, at this point, we're going to hear a little bit more from Sheila this time, his wife, in the 2020 podcast, saying we realised very soon
Janice
people
is his
were living...
wife.
No, Sheila.
My nose.
Who's Janice? She does look like a Janice.
I've got Peter and Janice, the hippie sex cult I've got in my nose.
We realised very soon that people were living different lives for different reasons at the same time. We were there to work. Other people appeared to be in their rooms the whole time. We actually got to like the person that was appearing to be lazy until we discovered that this person had come believing that this was freeing up time from work to write a screenplay. Another person was there to become a TV personality later on. We were led to believe that everyone was sharing the same beliefs, when in fact everyone had totally different ideas of what they were going to get out of it. So this is starting to come to a head of what are you here for, sort of thing.
And just Fogel.
Yeah.
Hey?
Do you reckon they meant Ben Fogel?
Yeah, absolutely they did.
No, I don't. I think they mean Poreg.
Oh,
really?
Appearing to be lazy, I think, is all the stuff that happens at the start. When he's got a broken leg.
Just to add, Sheila Jowers is Peter's wife.
Yeah.
Sheila Jowers. Not Janice. There's no Janice.
I don't know where I got Janice
There's
from.
no Janice. There's a Monica Cooney who we are yet to meet, who is married, who is in a relationship with Warren, father of Kira.
What the fuck are these people? We're 10 episodes in.
I feel looking at my book and all the people I'm now making them up.
New cast members in at this point. That's not.
She appears briefly, I'm sure of it, to recount what happens during the bust up earlier on with Ron and the Carey family.
Okay.
But she just factually repeats stuff. She doesn't add anything.
Everyone's just got hats on. They all look same.
Yes, pretty much, because everyone's cold, isn't it? So Peter's working and it's making everyone else feel guilty, apparently, particularly amongst all the young dudes. So Julie recounts all of this in a cloche hat. She was a Bolshevik in the last episode, so she's clearly doing it a decade at a time.
See, this is why you're here, people.
She's now in the house of whatever that thing is where they were fashion designers and lesbians in the 90s. What was that called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Listeners, help us out, because I can't remember what that was called. House of Fraser, let's say.
Leave it with me. It'll come to me before the end, and no one will care.
We get Warren just saying, Peter, I think you're absolutely pathetic, basically. It's like uncalled for in the way that it's edited.
And Ron says, you're a fucking bully. You're very good at bullying women. If there wasn't women and children in this room, I'd throw this plate at you.
Yeah.
Says the trainee psychotherapist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sandy in a VT says that he's acting intellectually superior. And people are just essentially lining up at this point to call him a bastard to his face.
He says something along the lines, because they're talking about how much he upsets Gwen, because Gwyneth wants to leave, and how much he upsets Gwen. And his lines are, I took it back and I wrote them down, I trigger some fear in her. She triggers that abusive fear on me. I'm tall, I'm strong, and I'm a man. So fuck up, you moron.
Yeah, I hated this. It's horrible. It's like there's this room full of people saying, don't be condescending and interrupt people. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, no.
All I do. But yeah, blaming her for a domestic abuse experience is sickening, really.
Yeah. And again,
fuck you, Peter. I know you don't listen
Peter.
to technology.
No, let's send him on a wax. It's just, he's got big... I don't know what the thing for it is. Real ale
Meatballs.
vibes about him.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's got a jacket made out of old bar towels.
Yeah.
Driftwood and washed up boys.
And boys.
And I kind of get his point. I don't know why he's here either. Like, because I think he maybe thought he was signing up for a genuine. Because like when he was talking about the thing, he's like, well, it's much different from what we have down in
Gloucestershire. Yeah.
Somewhere like that.
It was one of the shires. And like, so he's good at this. He's done this for him and his ex-wife in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Like, but I just don't think this is for him. And I think he's genuinely rubbing people up the wrong way with his, and especially the whole like domestic violence thing is unconscionable. And it just ends on a really fucking sour note.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now we've got Gwen and Pat feeling like they want to leave. Warren and Cassie want to leave. Ron, as usual, wants to leave. Dr. Rogers is probably going to leave at some point. So it feels very shaky at the moment.
Pat,
it's a weird place to end it.
If this happened back at home, I'd be in the pub pissed as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, good lad, Pat. But yeah, it's just this. I don't know whether it seems to be like a power grab for coolest guy on the island sort of thing, or whether it's just everyone is so beaten down that everything's coming to a head. It's a difficult thing.
I think like I said, I had an up and down with Roger here, but the Gordon thing, reading in the book as well, Gordon said he missed church more than anything else. Cassie as well, they both missed their friends and they missed church. But Gordon said what he wished more than anything else that he'd packed was some recorded sermons, so he could at least listen and he could sing along maybe to some of the songs and things like that. But he never really had that. But from the book, a little bit from Roger's diary. This morning I went over to the schoolroom. From Gordon's diary. This morning I went over to, I won't do the accent. I went over to the schoolroom and Roger was there and he plays the piano very well. And he was saying to me if I'd like him to play any hymns, he'd be very happy to do so. So I ran back, got my hymn book, and he was playing and I was singing. It was wonderful. He enjoyed it too. Even though he's not a Christian, he was saying how some of the songs are really beautiful. When I get back home, by God's grace, I'm going to live in that church, because the way I feel at the moment is if I'm in a desert without any water. Or the island without any water, because Ben's not fixed the pipes yet.
Fair play, Roger, man. Like,
Did he actually pack those sermons? But Ray got it mixed up with his tapes, and he's somewhere.
And he was holding the tape.
Back
I'm gonna give you these tapes, Roger, but only if you agree not to fucking look at me.
I don't remember singing these hymns, but then I was very, very drunk.
I were legless.
I were legless.
Oh, well, I'm kind of swaying towards the doctor. Like, he's just like, yeah, do you want to have a sing-song? Do you want to do some hymns? Some hers, whatever.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's nice. In the schoolhouse, throw them doors open, have a big sing into the, a big blue beyond. That'd be lovely.
Of course it would.
Do you know about Out of Hell?
No, but you hum it and I'll pick it up.
Not more meatloaf.
I'll smash your face in.
Give the water, or I'll kiss your daughter. Drinking from a puddle, giving her a cuddle. Lofty facts. Lofty.
Snakes are full of salmonella. That's his big reveal. I think this is because Ray Mears or Bear Grylls or someone ate a snake while it was writhing around or something.
All right, Edwina
but
Curry.
I've also managed to get a quote out of him. Where there's a snake, there's a steak. So maybe it's just for the lady to be cooked.
Oh man,
So take that with you.
Yeah, no, I will. Lofty is still my hero.
Put that in your 30-foot by 1-foot pipe or whatever it was, and sleep in it.
You can't in a one.
I don't know how big it was.
I mean, I've got nothing. Your
Put
favourite?
your head in it.
They could have put it on there and charged at each other, like when all the Simpsons males get together. Or put a big long pipe on it and then swing it at a sheep and it's done it. Your favourite quotes from normal service will be resumed next week. It should be fun from now on.
Yeah, I hope it is.
Because I can't take any more of this. This was a really rough episode from a lot of angles. But yeah, so your favourite quotes from this episode?
Please don't leak Mr. Pipe.
Wait, wasn't Mr. Pipe the man who died under the stairs?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Pipes.
Oh, Mr. Pipes.
He was there all along.
The circle is complete.
The
Say
circle
goodbye,
of death.
boys and girls.
Bye.
Charlie is dead.
Or just like Schindler's Chip.